Goddess Chrissy, and I'm going to be doing a video on an musical artist named d4vd. Now, I never heard of this guy before, but he's everywhere when I go on Instagram, and they're just coming out with all these different clips of him with this young girl, Celeste, whom it seems as though he was involved in a romantic relationship. Now, Celeste, they found her body in his Tesla, and he hasn't been charged as of yet since I'm doing this video. So, but they found her body in his Tesla, and she disappeared a year ago, I believe, when she was 14. So, I'm gonna do a reading on, well, you know what? I really don't know what exactly I'm gonna ask, to be honest. But I do want to say this. The main reason why I'm doing this video is because I feel like Celeste's spirit is very strong at this time with this revelation coming out. Is due to her spirit that it has even gotten this far, to her being found in his Tesla, allegedly. And I kept seeing, so both of them have a tattoo that says shh, and it's not God, source just always works, right? Literally, when I was about to say the word shh, like, I just paused, and I had to take a big gulp. So that word shh is very reflective on the kind of relationship that they had. And Celeste definitely wants me to talk about the secretive ways of their relationship, and the reason why they got that tattoo in the first place, okay? Because it's a significant reason why. And I believe it's also contradictory. I feel like Celeste's family, and all of this is alleged, I feel like there were family members that knew about her relationship with this artist. His real name is David, so I'm gonna say David. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. She was underage. She was 13. There's allegations that he met her at the age of 11. So I'm gonna go into the cards and just see what the cards have to say. Okay, so source, I'm going to ask you the personality of David and Celeste while they knew each other. What was their personalities while they knew each other? Again, I don't know if they had a romantic relationship. This is what is speculated right now. So I'm just going to ask their personalities at the time while they knew each other. What were their personalities? So let's start with David first. Okay, they want to start with Celeste first. Okay, Celeste, what was your personality in this thing, whatever this thing it was that you had with David? Okay, what was his personality during this time? All right. Okay, so the top portion is Celeste here. And this is just basically her archetype, her personality during her time with David, okay? So we're going to focus on Celeste right now. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Shadow attribute induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others, okay? So this is really interesting because usually the saboteur is someone that tries to mess up certain situations. So I'm getting from this card that Celeste probably grew up with divorced parents. She probably had a stepfather, a stepmother, or she was, her parents had a volatile relationship. And so she would lean more towards doing things for spite or getting back at those who she feel did her wrong or mistreated her in some kind of way, and that was her way of empowering herself. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if she was a Scorpio or had Scorpio in her chart. But there was always a part of her that would she was basically a kid who did what she wanted to do, and you couldn't really tell her much because it's like, well, you can't say anything because you was never there for me, or you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a parent, so don't worry about it. Go about your, just go about your way, do what you do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So you could say that she was like a rebellious teen, okay, which a lot of teenagers are. Let's see here. Healer. Wow. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Okay, so not only did Celeste have issues within her family, but also there was a lot of manipulation here. And it's like two sides of a coin. There was a lot of manipulation when she needed to, but she was also a person who was a good, very good friend and very close with her cousins and whatnot, and like there for them. So she was a person that you could talk to and like really have, fun with, have a good relationship with. So as far as like those that were her age, she was fine with. But those that were older than her, like her parents, she had like animosity towards them. Okay. Child magical, sees the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. So that's really difficult and sad because it tells me here that Celeste had a very she had a lot of fairies around her, so I feel like she was very grounded as well. She may have been an earth sign. Not only that, but she had a very innocent, personality as well. It's like I said, it's like two sides of a coin, because it's like she had to grow up fast, or she was very mature for her age, but then at the same time she was very childlike and very innocent. And if she acted out in any kind of way, it was due to pain and trauma that she had gone through, that dealt with what she felt was a lack of love. Okay, and sometimes as young women, and even at any age, when we don't find love where we expect it to be, we go and look for it elsewhere. And so that could possibly have been the case with this guy David. Okay, so let's look at his cards, but that is Celeste's cards there. Okay, so again, I see like rebellious teen, manipulation here, but also an innocence about her that was very forgiving and loving at the same time. All right, so we're going to put her cards there. Let's go to his. All right, we have Queen, radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So David really sees himself as an authoritative figure, very nurturing, very loving, but very stern at the same time. So he does have feminine qualities about him, but it's balanced off with masculinity as well. In the shadow side, it says, becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. I can see a secretive side of him being that way, because like I said, there's a balance of femininity with him there, but also the masculine as well. And so when that masculinity comes through, it comes through in a subtle way. So in a very manipulative way, even though it's controlling and demanding. But because it comes in a subtle way, you don't really take it as that, being in a situation with him. So you don't realize it for what it is until over time. Samaritan. Interesting. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Okay, so I feel like David was supporting Celeste financially. I feel like he was doing things like paying for her clothes, paying for her school, taking her places that she wanted to go. So they definitely had some type of friendship for sure from what I'm seeing here. Okay. Rebel. Challenges authority. All right. Challenges authority to affect social change. Reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Rejects legitimate authority out of anger. Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So David saw himself as an artist in his own lane, in his own right. But he also felt like, why should we follow societal norms? We should be able to do whatever we want to do. And that's how he, how should I say this? Normalized what he was doing, being with Celeste. Like, well, we should all have the right to do what we want to do. I'm not doing anything wrong here. So he tried to convince himself of that. But if you see there, this girl is sitting on a cushion in the tree, you know, and Celeste is actually sitting on the ground. So she knew that whatever they were doing was wrong. But David actually convinced himself that it wasn't. Even though a part of him, look at her foot touching the tree, that groundedness, that knowing, even though he knew that deep inside, so subconsciously, what he was doing was wrong, he convinced himself that it wasn't. Okay? He convinced himself that it was fine. All right, so that's what we have so far. So let me put these away. There's a deck that I wanted to use, but I counted it, and one of my cards is missing, so I'm going to use the, basically it's like my fairy tale deck. All right, source. So what I want to know is, how did, wow, the alarm just went on. Okay. Reading is about to start. Alarm just came on. Are you guys ready for it? Because it looks like we're about to hear some stuff. Source, how did Celeste and David meet? And I know Celeste Spirits is here. So Celeste, you can assist with the reading. How did you guys meet? How did you and David meet? I feel like Celeste actually went to see him perform, and she became a fan. Also, allegedly, too, guys, I do feel like Celeste's mom knew, allegedly, more about this relationship. Here's a parent here taking their child. I feel like there is more that she knows, allegedly. I keep seeing a reflection here, like a bowl. So that could be the computer screen. Her seeing him perform or liking his music creatively and then reaching out to him through technological means. I feel like in the beginning, David didn't give her the time of the day with the Emperor here. The Emperor is someone who just doesn't have time for little games and, you know, is focused on their creativity here. So I feel like when she first reached out, he didn't give her the time of day. So that's how did it become something more, allegedly? How did it become something more? Look at that with the Two of Cups. So she kept reaching out. She kept showing her interest. She kept revealing herself to him. And he became intrigued. And if you see here at the bottom of the deck, the Devil card, but also the Ten of Cups. And this is why I tell you guys, allegedly, I do feel like Celeste's family knows more than what they're saying, allegedly. But yeah, so she kept pursuing him, allegedly, and showing interest. Now, is this showing interest romantically or just showing interest in him creatively? Show me. Okay, what did you want? Yeah. Okay, so Celeste kept basically showing interest on whether this is on the computer screen or communicating with him, and he was, I'm gonna say, flattered by it. And so he stepped out of his comfort zone and decided to, but if you see here with the bird, it's like, this is kind of just, you know, one of my fans. This is just one of, just another fan, another groupie, you know, it's no big deal. It's whatever, but it developed into something. If you see that there with the Two of Cups. Okay. It did develop into something, so allegedly they did have a romantic relationship. Why did David decide to speak to Celeste? Did Celeste, did you lie about your age? Did you lie about your age? Because that's one of the things that people are out there saying, that she said that she was 19. Is this true? Did you lie about your age? I'm getting no. I'm getting no, she did not. Allegedly, I'm getting that he knew. Yes, I'm getting that he knew that she was a child. Okay. Allegedly. Source, why did David begin talking to Celeste even though he knew that she was underage? Why did he do this? clear, fast magician. Like this. What is this? Okay, I'm actually getting some like witchcraft involved here. It looks like one of the women that he... Are these women or are these... Okay, guys, so this may not be the first time that he's been with someone underage, allegedly. Okay? Was this overseas? Yeah, I feel like there's another victim, allegedly. In Europe. I feel like he has someone that he dealt with in Europe as well that was underage, allegedly. So I don't think that this was his first time dealing with a younger girl. And I see here that he was disgusted by himself at times for it, but he couldn't stop. Like, it was like literally a disease. Like, he couldn't stop dealing with her. I feel like this other girl, a victim, that is showing up here, or victims, you know, it was like just dealt with them and went about his business. But with Celeste, for him, it was different. How did he feel? How did David feel about Celeste? Source, how did David feel about Celeste? Queen of Coins. Seven of Swords. Seven of Coins. King of Coins, Nine of Coins, Five of Coins. So he knew that what they were doing, basically, look at this with the fire, like playing with fire. The sneakiness, playing with fire. But he also felt like they were soulmates with this King and Queen of Coins. And she gave him a lot of attention in the beginning, and he liked the attention that she gave, like praise or whatnot, like looking up to him. But he knew that he could lose everything if he continued with playing with fire. Okay. This is interesting here because we got the Hangman and the Four of Wands. He couldn't help it. But I love how that reminds me of like the Jay-Z sign, right? That he used to have. I forgot what the heck he used to call it, which tells me that the reason, or one of the reasons allegedly, is due to David's society that he's in, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I don't feel like David did this on his own. I feel like others are involved, allegedly, or did it for him, allegedly. And we're gonna get into that in a little bit here. Let's see. Made me forget my question actually. Now I gotta go back. Hold on, let me think back. Give me back what question you guys want me to ask. Alright. Why did Celeste die? Why did she die? Celeste, tell us why did you die? Okay, that's supposed to be David. Page of Wands. Nine of Cups. Oh, look at that with the Ten of Swords. You know, a lot of people feel like she was pregnant. Okay, guys, sorry about that. My battery actually died on my phone, and the source was like, you can't give them this message talking about the deep quiet, and then it's not a quiet background. You know, there was cutting a lawnmower going off in the background outside, and it was just a lot of noise. So, source is like, come back to it and do the reading when it's a lot more quieter. So, here we go. I'm gonna read this again for you guys. When deep quiet appears, it is a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step outside the concerns of your everyday life. This does not mean to slow down and take a breath, although that is a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep, to that place where the noise stops and there is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When we don't respond to the invitation offered by deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or a crisis. Listen to the still, small voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down, that you don't have the time, the inclination, or the money for a retreat. Do not let any of these reasons get the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence. All right. And that is what Celeste Spirit wanted you guys to know. And that is the end of the reading. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Until next time, it's Goddess Chrissy. Again, may her spirit live long, far, fast, into these open, wide spaces. She is now one with the deep quiet, as she wishes all of us to be. All right, till next time, guys. Bye.